New Jersey Globe. I'm speaking with Bob Hugin. He's the Republican state chairman. Mr. Chairman, lots of races to watch all over the state today.
Yeah, it's an exciting day. The enthusiasm, the momentum has been building. We're very optimistic for today.
So take me through some of the key races. Tell me which ones you're really watching out for, which ones you're most concerned about.
Well, I think, from your perspective, you've been around a long time, followed this a long time. This is a long game, and we're building on the momentum from last year where we captured, I think, about 134 Democratic seats, flipped on a net basis to Republican seats, made advances in the legislature. So another year of advancement. Our goal by the end of this year is to control more county governments than Democrats, and we're optimistic that at that level we're going to be very successful in picking up a number of commissioner seats across the state, but take control in 2 more counties, Cumberland and Gloucester. We're very focused there. Municipal elections, very positive momentum all across the board, because we're obviously setting up also for next year when we have the legislative seats where we're going to be focused on 41 and 21 to take control of both the state Senate and the Assembly with the irresponsible policies at the state level for Democrats, but also at the national level. And then obviously the congressional races are featured here this year. Obviously, Democrats have thrown Malinowski under the bus by giving Tom Kean Jr. such a good district, and we're optimistic about what we're seeing in the early voting there and in the vote by mail. So positive trends there. Bob Healy's running a great race in CD3 against Andy Kim, who has been just a rubber stamp for Nancy Pelosi. And Frank Pallotta and Paul DeGroot are running exceptional campaigns up in 5 and 11, and Sue Kiley in 6. And obviously our incumbents with Jeff Van Drew and Chris Smith doing in Ocean and Monmouth counties, and down south with Jeff down in Cape May and Atlantic and Cumberland and Salem and down there. They're doing great. So we're optimistic. It's an uphill battle. We really feel the Democrats gerrymandered the congressional process, but we're optimistic. The voters are angry. Inflation, crime, education are the top issues. And we're just doing everything we can to make sure people get the vote on the record. Just vote on the important issues, and we're going to do very well.
So start with your home district, the one that everybody started out watching as most closely, which is the 7th, Kean and Malinowski. You have any? I mean, yeah. Obviously, between predicting, you've been predicting that Tom Kean's going to win all along. So we're not going to make any news here about you saying it again. But any guesses on what those vote totals might look like?
It's tough. I hope we're seeing an energized base, and that's important in these elections. Off years tend to have less turnout, which is unfortunate because these races are very important. Every sign we're seeing on the ground is very positive, but we need everybody to get out and vote today. We don't want any kind of complacency or people think it's in the bag in any way, shape, or form. We've got to get out there and people vote. So I went out and voted this morning. Everyone in my family has voted. All of our neighbors were encouraging to get out there, our friends, family. Everybody's got to vote. Make your vote count. Whoever you're going to vote for, we hope you vote for the best person, whoever that is, and we're going to do very well if that's the case.
What does Bob Healy need to do to win? I mean, this was a district. I mean, I said it back when the map came out. I thought that was a gerrymandered district from Bass River to Homedale, more exits on the Garden State Parkway than any other district in the history of the state. But that district was drawn for Andy Kim to win. Now it seems, by all accounts, potentially a close race. Where does Healy really need to run up some numbers in order to take this?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Burlington has been not great for Republicans the last few years as it was historically. We're seeing a good base there for him. That he's from that county, he's doing well there. He's worked incredibly hard in both Mercer and Monmouth. The thing that I'll tell you about Bob Healy, now I've known him longer than most people, but he has, as a candidate, has really matured. We had an Indian American go in Woodbridge, and he spoke there and he talked about the values of public service, what his life means, why he's doing this. And it was hard not to just feel so wanting to help him, because he really wants to make a difference for our state and our country. And so he's a much better campaigner. He's had a very diverse life, from entertainment to business to philanthropy to education. I think the more people get to know him And I think, hopefully today will be the day that he'll put it over the edge. Everything we're seeing is very close there. I think Andy Kim, if Andy Kim does pull it out, it's only because the race was a week or two shorter. Every day goes on, more people know Bob Healy, and they know what a great congressperson he would make for us.
And I'll close with something that you've already mentioned. You said you won about 130 seats last year at the local level. Whether you're a Democrat or Republican, winning seats at the local level is the foundation of building a party. You think Republicans, and I won't go race by race with you, I promise, but do you think Republicans can hit a 3-digit gain in local seats this year?
Yeah, I have to look at exactly the numbers. I'm not familiar. We had a lot of seats up last year. We've got a lot of seats up this year. We're confident that we'll by the end of the year, but after today, we'll control more counties in New Jersey than Democrats control, and we're going to continue that momentum next year. So I am very, very optimistic and confident that we will continue the momentum that we built last year, started to really build even the year before that. But as we're building that momentum, it's going to give us a platform for the future, because the Republicans are the people with the answers. They're not trying to run on divisive issues, trying to run and say, we got to let people keep more of their money in their pocket. We got to create more jobs. We got to let our kids get educated and not just have a woke agenda that destroys kids' education. Kids have lost a year to two of learning because of overreach of government. Crime in the suburbs and in rural and urban areas is increasing. My neighborhood has had somebody was carjacked. A woman was thrown into a car and almost kidnapped. Unfortunately, she got out. We've had so many car thefts and burglaries and things. People are fed up with the policies of not caring for people. Republicans have common sense approach to the government. We want to make strong economic policies, create jobs, make it safe for our kids and our families, making sure that we're affordable so grandparents can stay with their kids and their grandparents, but educate the kids on common sense so they can compete in the economy with jobs and so I think we have great candidates up and down the state, local, county, state races. We're going to do the best we can. And that's my job, is to really help Republicans win, but importantly, identify the right people, encourage them to run, make sure they have the resources to run. And when they govern with common sense, do the things that people need and they want.
Well, Republican State Chairman Bob Hugin, thanks as always for talking to me. And I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot from you throughout the day and tonight.
Very excited. Thanks for having me, David, and keep up the great work. Thank you.
Take care. Good night.